Who is Radical77?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay, is this Nigerian brother, also known as Lloyd Olanipekunla Shaba
Damn.
from Belkota. You know, we Yoruba people, we've always like in the beginning a lot of names.
You know,
Where your uncle, your sister,
yeah.
your brothers, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, from Belkota, and Lagos State. And yeah, Radical77 is an artist who sells motivation, hope, and courage through music. Whatever I sing about, he has to be motivating, he has to be uplifting, because I believe music is message. You know, if it doesn't motivate, you shouldn't communicate it, because no, the world is troubled enough.
Yeah.
So
true
like,
that,
true
that. True that. So you've been making music since what year would you say?
Actually, like, you know.
Just switching mics. Yep.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, I think I'm cool.
You're good now. You're good. You're good.
Oh, thank you.
Good.
Music has been there for like, you know, for years. Actually, like, a lot of people, like, for the people who don't really know, I was born into a Muslim family, and if you listen, like, for instance, my kind of, I mean, my tone, because a lot of people have been coming to me like, how do you sound like in a Muslim, like, you're doing Arabic? Actually, like, I studied Arabic as a child. I used to like go to something, a school called Lake in Nigeria. Yeah, where you're like you have to like learn the Arabic, learn the Rasul. And as a child, like, I was like, from when I was 7 years old, I used to do something that is called praise and worship in Islam.
Okay.
I used to be the child, I used to be that, and I remember when I was doing that,
actually,
a lot of people.
Let me sorry to say, people may not know, I actually did do that when I was young.
It's a
Yeah, you may not know, yeah. A lot of people may not know, but my dad's side is actually Muslim.
So is mine.
So,
wow.
yeah,
I have Muslim name.
Oh, see, and I went to Arabic school as well.
Exactly.
There you go. So I'll let you continue your story.
I'm so glad, like, that I'm relate to it and flow you too. Like, yeah, I was born into a Muslim family. You know, I got Muslim name value. I called Yusuf. And like I said, like, I used to be this child who used to like, do the praise and worship in Nigeria then. And you know, when I remember, like, in those days, people would be standing out, expected to see this child who's been doing the praise and worship. And when I come and they start crying because of the, like, because he's always like about spirituality, you know, and they tone my voice as a child, like, doing all those things, like, yeah, I don't want to do that here. So like, so it's been there. I mean, music has been, I started from the mosque, and with time, like, and I started from the mosque. And
did you ever sing in the mosque as well?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
The praise and worship, yeah, exactly. Like, but you remember, like, in those days, in Islam, you were not really allowed to, like, do modern music or stuff like that. You have to, like, do an inspirational one, and that's what we used to do, like, And I've been doing, like, the sing rap from my childhood. Like, I will sing and I will speak.
Okay.
Because I believe in speaking a lot. And yeah, so from there, like, into secondary school, college days, and places like that. And officially, like, since 2000, because I started recording in 2007, and that was like, inspirational music, like gospel, which were not really released. But in 2011, I started, like, to be honest, like, because I got a time, I got a point in my life where I just said, let me just do what I love. So I started, like, bringing my real self out. I started, like, bringing,
How did your parents feel about it? I mean, when you started doing music, obviously you were in school at that time.
Yeah.
And they must have been like, okay, what's he doing now?
Definitely. I know you can relate to it. Our parents, I believe we're from the same tribe in Nigeria, Yoruba. Our parents, like, because in West Africa, like, they always, like, they value education a lot.
Yeah.
Most of Western education.
Yeah.
Western education.
Yeah.
Yeah, they value it so much, and your parents from childhood will say, I want you to be okay, in my situation, my father said, he wanted me to be 14. And the most important was, for me, he was an engineer and a boxer. Well, he was a boxer, he was an engineer. They want me to be an engineer, and at the same time, they want me to be the president of Nigeria. And I'm trying to be a president.
Ambitious.
Want me to be? He always said to me, "You're gonna be a president of Nigeria because you got this brain. You can change things. You can help people. You're gonna help." But to be an adult, I want to be that. Yeah. So like, regarding the music thing, and my dad, he wouldn't wait. He loved me to like, okay, yeah, something. When I was a child, people used to, because I love Michael Jackson a lot, and I used to like dress like Michael Jackson. And people used to bully me, call me Michael Jackson with my logos and my white socks, like, and my dad always said, oh, like, I want you to like, be this, but at the same time, we say, bad boys are the people. I mean, the people that go into music, they're people not really intelligent. You always say that.
That's always the misconception.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, like, I put my dad wrong. Okay, fine, I went to university, I got a degree in mechanical engineering, counseling psychology.
Wow.
And then I practiced for 2 years. Then things changed in my life. Counseling psychology, yeah. I practiced for 3 years, and things changed in my life. And actually, like, things that changed everything. It's so funny, my dad, he wanted me to like, be this, but it was even the one that facilitated the changes in my life.
For music?
Yeah, then I eventually like, settled down for music and boxing.
Wow.
He wouldn't want me to do this. I remember I used to walk my hands so bad.
Wow.
That they said they saw you over there, they saw you on TV doing boxing, they saw you like in some radio station. Because I remember that in Nigeria, what is it called? Red Power. That's time like when we were in Nigeria. I sneaked out and I went to Red Power. I had my school uniform. And I remember the other one, the Kenny Gungwe's colleague, died. He was going to walk my hands. When he realized, so you're from secondary school and you eat your school uniform in your school bag, this and that. So I was going to walk my hands on that day. So like, yeah, I've been encouraged and discouraged by a lot of situations and by a lot of people. But whichever, like, when I look back and I look at myself today, doing what I love to do, like, I say thank you to God and to the people who have been there supporting. And I say thank you to my dad too, because eventually he supported me. He encouraged me on this project.
That's great. That's fab.
So would you say that you're like, everything that you've experienced so far, you've been able to place it into your music and see?
Exactly. You see that song that we just listened to, Ajay, is my masterpiece.
Okay.
That song means a lot to me. It's an old song, to be honest with you. It was done in 2011. And you know what, wherever I go to, I make sure I perform it because it's my story. The things that happened when I was young.
Would you say that's like the starting point for you in your music career?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then that's my first, because before it used to be like, it used to be like R&B, hip hop, we always wanted to be like, so it used to be like that. Then that was my first, because I thought, hold on, I've got this voice, I've got this talking voice, like this Afro sound. Why can't I just use it? Then I've said aside that I've been writing a lot of music, then let me just do Ajay. And Ajay, for the people who don't really understand, Ajay means wealth.
Wealth.
Yeah. So because I remember those days I used to complain a lot about artists singing about I've got too much money, because I believe music is meant to to motivate people, to impact people positively. And I realized in those days most of these artists, most of these coming artists, they say I want to be rich, because I remember some people would be sending me messages to my artist page saying I would do anything. I would even join Illuminati. I'm serious. I would do anything, please, just get me on. And I thought, listen, there's no way I can get you. Just work hard and do what you have to do. Because people think doing music you're gonna make all this big money, you're gonna be driving Ferrari. It's all about lies anyway. So in my case, I would never sing like that. Start talking about I got too much money, no. So that's why I sang Ajay. Sing about money in a motivating way. So that's the reason in Ajay, I love telling stories, through music, if you know what I mean. And when I did Ajay, if you listen to the lyrics, a lot of good stories, inspiring stories.
I've got this track here that I'm going to play. It's called Wine That Thing. Now, before I play it, tell me a little bit about the song itself and what made you...
What inspired you?
What inspired you about it?
Okay, Wine That Thing. Okay, most of the time, because I sing motivational music, people get it wrong. They think because I sing motivational music, inspirational music, I don't know about, man and woman. You know what I mean? I don't
How to
exactly. How to get down there. So like people have been talking about like this guy don't sing about this as a listen. This is a music you're making. Most of the things that I sing, I put this into it. Only that I say it in a motivational way. In a way like in a pastor, a sheikh can listen and say, I'm gonna sing along. And no one's gonna say, hey, be quiet, that's not godly. Because I always want music to like godly because everyone from any part of the world, any part of you know what I'm saying? So why that thing, is about, that thing, you know what I mean?
You gotta tell us what that thing is. You have to tell us.
Okay, one that thing is about, in Africa they say there's a universal way to there's a universal word for the bosom of the woman, and, they call it yansh.
I like the way you say that, the bottom of the woman.
They call it yansh, and because in a way